Hello, beautiful beings.
My name is Luna, and this is
Rachel, and we'd like to welcome you to the Conscious Soul Podcast,
The Conscious Soul,
where you can get your dose of laughs, wisdom, healing,
aliens, witchy shit, and all things related to the unfolding of the conscious soul. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Conscious Soul. My name is Luna.
And I'm Rachel.
What is up?
Hi, guys.
What's bragging?
Hey. We took a little 2-week hiatus, and we're back.
Yes.
Back in business.
We're back, finally. We were on the road.
On the road again.
That was our saying throughout the thing. Because we were fucking on the road all the time. But it was well worth it. We saw and met and rested. And it was just experienced
and cried.
And ate and smelled and fell and all kinds of stuff.
You did fall, actually, didn't you?
Did I fall?
Yeah.
I always be falling. I don't know.
So we just, we took 2 weeks off, and it didn't align for us mentally, emotionally, or spiritually to be producing podcasts. We had other things that we needed to tend to. And, this episode, actually, we didn't come into it with a set title or with a set topic. However, I think what I just said is actually going to be the foundation of this episode, is to align with self and align with spirit. And, if you have a podcast, if you have a business, if you have whatever it is that you're doing, consistency and discipline is very important. And it's also important to be aware and to be one with self and with spirit, to be connected. And when things don't align, that's okay. We were actually supposed to last weekend we were supposed to go to Chicago to do a meditation workshop, and we ended up not going because it didn't align. And, there's many reasons why that is. And so a lot of times we get so caught up in the humanness of wanting to know why it's okay. That's the surrender part.
That's so funny. I'm sorry to cut you
go
off,
ahead.
but that's so funny that you say, what did you just say?
The humanness of wanting to know why.
Wanting to know why, yeah. Because as I was doing a meditation, I played the singing bowl for a bit, and then I did my reading, and then I got an idea of a TikTok to do, like a funny TikTok. And it was going to be about, why you always got to want to know everything? Why you got to know everything? Like Spirit telling me, like, why you always want to know everything? You don't need to know everything.
Girl, coming from you.
So I thought it was funny because that's a lesson of mine, not needing to know anything. Because people like myself who are naturally, gifted, I would say, or in tune with, their higher self, or can sense other people's energy.
This girl's a witch, y'all.
Or
real
is
life.
A witch, real life witchy witch. Or was a witch in their past life. If you're called to those things, that means that you did it once before in another life.
Uh-huh.
And whatever you are called to in reality, that means that you have done it before. And so you are experienced already,
Uh-huh.
And so you got to step into that. And me making fun of that aspect of myself, that shadow aspect of myself, is actually kind of healing for me as well. And so I just thought that was funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah, girl, because you always be wanting to know why. You always be wanting to know.
Yeah, because I intuitively, I know,
Right.
I always know, like, I can see things play out in my head. I can hear, like, full sentences of things that are facts, and I'm just like...
You read other people's thoughts.
Yeah, I've been reading people's thoughts and shit, And I'm like, well, this is facts, but then I have to have discernment of knowing what is my fucking bullshit thoughts and somebody's actual thoughts, you know? Like, am I making it up at this point because I have trauma that this is feeding the story, you know? So there has to be discernment there, definitely. But yeah, so since I know all the time, mostly, you know, most of the time I can see the foreseeable future of what I'm doing, of my actions and the timeline that I'm currently on. Because every time that you make a choice, you can shift timelines. You know, you jump timelines. And so
we time traveling around here, y'all.
Yeah, and that's why astrology, that's why tarot, that's why all of that is just subjective, because it's only reading your current timeline. And so you have the power and the choice to switch timelines if you choose to. And so sometimes the universe is just like we are. I call myself mysterious. Well, the universe is also fucking mysterious.
Absolutely.
And so there are some times where universe is not going to tell me everything because I may get in my own way. I may sabotage my own self. And so that's why things need to be omitted for the time being. Or sometimes things need to just play out, you know, you're rushing and things need to just play out. So Spirit says, calm down, you know, you don't need to know right now.
Go take a tiny one.
Go take a tiny one.
Go take a tiny one.
Entiende o no entiende? But seriously, and so we need to allow that space for Spirit to answer us. You know, we ask all these questions. We know a lot of people pray only when they need something, you know, that kind of stuff. So we need to just allow Spirit to do its thing and allow life and for us to unfold as naturally and organically as possible.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, always. Two things you said I wanna piggyback off of. One, you said about feeding the old story, and I don't remember if we spoke about this in a previous episode or maybe we'll speak about it in a future one, but I do just want to mention that, you know, a lot of times, whether it's, you know, heartache, pain, trauma from our childhood or in our adulthood, you know, maybe it's experiences that we've had that, you know, we're not so feel good, in air quotes, feel good, right? You know, we have this society, you know, shoves down our throats. It's all in the media. It's in social media. It's everywhere you look, like feel good, feel good, feel good, you know, happy vibes, you know, good vibes only, you know. However, that's not the full experience of life. The full experience of life is, you know, the ebb and the flow and the ebb, the highs and the lows, the joys, the sorrows, the pain, the heartache, you know, all of it. And so, you know, just something to think about is, you know, what is the story that you've been telling yourself? And, you know, are you willing to create a new story? Are you willing to write a new story? Are you willing to let go of the old stories, of the old ways of doing and thinking, you know? And that's been pretty prevalent for us individually. You know, we've been speaking about that, which is, you know, really cool to be able to have, you know, a friend to be able to just bounce that off of, you know?
Yeah.
That was the one thing. And then the other thing was just something that you had mentioned. It slipped my mind. It'll probably come back around.
Don't ask me. I don't remember what I said.
It'll come back around. I don't remember
what I said. No, you know, you're talking about the ebb and flow of life. I think that's also a very important topic to tap on or talk on or whatever.
Tap.
Because right now with the full moon, oh boy, am I feeling it. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. The full moon energy is strong, my friend. It's strong because it's in Scorpio. And obviously I'm a Scorpio. Scorpios are spicy. You already know.
Spicy Latina over
here.
Here.
Well, Scorpios are mysterious, right? They love all things dark and mysterious. And so they're witches. And they're all about transformation. Their card that's in tarot that represents them is the death card, because the death card is transformation. Death is not really a death, it's a transformation of energy. And so, or transmutation as well. And so that's what this moon is asking of us, to really uproot all of our old belief systems and really dive into our highest and greatest selves and who we really are, who we truly are, knowing our truth. And so that is hard for some people, and it can be intense for some people. And also, Scorpio is a water sign. Water signs are emotional. Okay, so even though Scorpios, they have like this like they seem like they're tough, you know, like they have a tough exterior. They don't really show that they're feeling,
and they all big old softies.
But they're big old softies on the inside.
Big old Mr. Softy.
They be feeling it hard though. But so you be feeling emotions too during this full moon.
Yeah.
This full moon gets you really emotional. So people's emotions will be surfacing. People will be talking about it. Will be not staying with their mouths shut. So you're going to be hearing their thoughts, and so this can create some conflict if you are reacting, you know, if you're not responding to what is happening. And so everything is happening for your highest and greatest good. And so trusting that, coming from a place of love inside of your heart, and of responding with love and kindness and compassion, then you can actually move through these things.
You hit it on the head, girl. I was just about to say, make sure that you're coming from a place of love, responding from a place of love. Because I noticed that, you know, in my life, you know, I've been sharing with you that I've really been stepping into the observer, you know, like my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts, you know, not just me, but then how I'm feeling when someone else plays a part in that. Like if I'm having a conversation, or, you know, recently I had a conversation with a gentleman and we were speaking about, you know, he was, not to go on this whole long tangent, but he was speaking about, you know, how he felt like he was speaking for all men. And I said, no, I know men who, you know, have a decent balance between their masculine and feminine energy. And you know, so that conversation was intense for me, you know, and I recognized, you know, how far I've come and how much I've grown, you know, and how I was able to observe myself and how I felt, and how I was able to observe him and where he was coming from. And also like not agreeing with him, but listening, you know, and asking questions, because, you know, that's the really important part here, guys, is to, you know, we listened to a podcast yesterday, and she was speaking about, you know, how most people, like how it's such a benefit, and it's such a challenging thing to do nowadays, to actually hold space for people, because most people, they want you to be done talking so that they can give you advice. Like, we don't need advice. Like sometimes maybe, you know, however, we all have the answers within, you know, and so it's important that, you know, we're able to hold space for one another and listen and ask questions and, you know, just get to the root of it. Like, okay, we're feeling like this. Okay, well, let's peel back the layers. Like, why are we actually feeling like this, right?
Yeah. And if they're not trying to give you advice, they're uncomfortable with feeling what you're feeling. Like,
absolutely.
They're like, why is this happening? Like, well, I don't know how to feel these things, you know? Or they're uncomfortable with sadness, you know? Like, they feel like you should always be laughing or something, you know? And so, yeah, these are traumas that are, unfortunately, have been passed down through generations, you know? And it's things that we have to heal on our own. So healing yourself is healing your ancestors as well.
That's right.
And so as long as you do the healing and you live as a healed being, you know, you're going to be spreading that light just by simply existing. And so that is the ultimate goal, I think.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to watch. You know, I know that we have had conversations about our parents and, you know, our lineage and, you know, our family, and you come from a Hispanic background, and, you know, what that culture is like, you know, in regards to religion and, you know, and I come from, you know, my father was Jewish, so I was raised Jewish, but my mother was Catholic, and, you know, so dismantling, you know, all of that. And now it's amazing that I get to meditate with my mother, you know, like she meditates on her own and she meditates with me, and like, it's an honor and a privilege, you know. And even this morning after meditation we spoke, and she called me and she's like, she just had toe surgery, you know, so she's like, I don't want to take those pills that they gave me. I just am going to take some aspirin, and, you know, I just deal with the pain, and, you know, and I'm like, okay, Mom, you know, and so she goes, because I'm just in such a great space with myself, and I'm happy, and I'm just feeling so spiritually grounded. And this is what she's saying to me, like, I'm feeling spiritually grounded. I'm like, who are you, you know? So yeah, it's just like, and then also just piggybacking off of that and our parents, and or even if it's like our family, an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or a friend that we've had for 13-15 years, you know, sometimes we could say, oh, they're never going to change, or oh, they're always going to think like that, or they're always going to react like that. Well, you know, the thing is, guys, is that you don't know that, you know, you don't know. Everyone has their own soul and their own souls unfolding, and everybody gets their own lesson in their own unique way. And sometimes we can hear things 1,000 times, but it's that 1,001 time that it actually resonates. And so, you know, be kind and be gentle with yourself and others in that regard. Like that's been a huge lesson for me, you know, because I'm not close with my family. You know, the only person that I'm really close with is my mother. And so, you know, seeing my family from a distance and, you know, observing, you know, how they are and who they are and what their characteristics are and how they live their life. It's not for me to judge or for me to like. It's for me to hold space that, you know, one day they will have some awakening or some epiphany, you know, and it doesn't mean that they're in a lesser place than me. We're just in different spaces and different places. And, you know, so I just want us to recognize that, whether it's family, friends, you know, roommates, whatever it is. You know, and the important thing is that we don't try to take other people's lessons away, you know, because we need the lessons that we need in the time and the space that we need them. And it's the same for every single individual. It's not for us to understand. It's not for us to like. It's not for us to have an opinion on. Because frankly, your opinion is irrelevant. It's very irrelevant. It's individual to the individual. And, you know, you and I can both look at the sky and it looks pink to me and it looks blue to you. And you know what? If that pink sky makes you happy, then that's all that freaking matters. So
Yes, I agree completely. That's awesome. And you know what? I think that us doing this episode without a quote-unquote script or an idea of what's happening is a great example of how we should live life, you know? Like, it's just, who needs the fucking script? You know?
There is none. There's no script to life.
Because it's ever evolving, ever changing. It's constantly evolving. The only thing that is constant in life is change, baby. Change. Yeah, for sure. Well,
you got some change.
You got some change on you. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been amazing. I am so happy that we finally made it back on.
Yes.
We love you guys.
We love you very much. And we're very thankful for you, for all who listens and all who supports and takes part. And
yes, every single 3 persons.
No, I think it's like 5. But either way, we're growing, we're expanding.
Yes, we're expanding, we're growing, and we're grateful. And we are going to not be missing any episodes. So stay tuned because we got a lot more fun stuff ahead.
Yes, we love you.
Bye.
Have a beautiful day.
Ciao, ciao.